sitting in our homes, in our house, we felt like, where are those people whom we trained, whom we invested like 15 years? Where are these people? Why people are still dying without knowing Christ? Why the churches are still suffering? I think that's because we didn't make disciples. We teach people, we give theological educations to the people, but we didn't make that relationship. And today it's all about the relationship which Christ did. The character He helped us to form, the character He shows that we all should have. And today I have this truth scripture from 2 Corinthians verse 16, verse 6, chapter 6, verse 14. It says that don't team up. I'm reading from LNT version, New Living Translations. It says, don't team up with those who are unbelievers. How can a righteous can be partnered with weakness? Sometimes we felt like this is something God calls us to just separate ourselves, but we will see that it is not the separations we is talking about. And the second verse is 7:1. It says that because we have these promises, dear friend, let us cleanse ourselves for everything that can define our body or spirit, and let us work towards complete holiness, because we fear God. A small story. A crow, and there were a lot of pigeons. So usually people goes and feed pigeon. So pigeon has a lot of food, free food, and this crow, which nobody likes actually. So when he comes, these pigeons also, they don't allow him to, allow the crow also to come in their group. So they always, try to just, scare him off. And then one day he painted himself, that crow, and he tried to be in the pigeons group. And in beginning it was fine. The pigeons couldn't understand, couldn't realize, but soon they realized, because the way the crow walk, they don't walk, they hop, but pigeons walk. So they understand that something wrong. This guy is hopping, this guy is not walking like us. And that is something which in our life also can happen. That how we walk, because we are, especially the urban churches, especially our urban society, our urban life, we live in a place where there are a lot of other people. I'm not only talking about non-believers, but I'm talking about from the people who also believe, but maybe with some limitation, not completely. And our life need to reflect that whom we are. And that is what I was talking about, that that Christ did something which we always miss, which we always try to focus. Our main focus goes to His teaching, but what not His life. We always say, Christ teaches this. This is the message He gave. This is what we need to do. But how He lived, we often actually ignore that. But there was a purpose, because for which Christ was living with His disciples. And He called one by one all His disciples from very different places, from very different background. Everyone was there. There was a educator, there was a simple man, all kind of man. So today's scriptures also shows that Corinthians also was like, that Corinth, that city was also like our mega city. You all know about that the story about the city. That was a port city. There was a city where a lot of businesses taking place. A lot of foreigners comes, like Bangkok, with lot of other nationalities were there, and they form a culture which is very unhealthy. And today also, in our Christian's life, we fell into that trap which unknowingly we goes to an unhealthy life. The Christian word actually came after Christ's death and resurrections, right? Previously it's all Jew, Gentiles and all those. And today if we see all together, Christianity is the largest religion in the world, altogether. I'm talking about all the denominations, Catholic, Protestants, Orthodox. One thing common is we all call ourselves Christian. We don't call ourselves separately like old days or Old Testament, Jew or Gentiles, all. We all people identify ourselves, oh, they are Christians. And the word Christians very mean follower of Christ. So our responsibility, I feel like it is more important, it's more serious today than ever. Ever means when Christ came, it was I think that this situation is more important and serious than when Christ was there, because He lived a life and give us a life and show us something. Now it is on to us how we live, and we just took that name. So how we can do that? It's sometimes we say like, okay, it's not a big deal. But when we try to do that, when we try to follow that, it is a big deal. It is a big deal. Because the life which we are living, even though maybe not in urban, but wherever we started feeling very comfortable. And after a while, we felt like, okay, this is a very comfort zone. Let's all plan together around this. And that is exactly happened in our life too. In our before pandemic, during pandemic, all the time, we actually planned as a leader, as a Christian's leader, everything around our comfort zone. That's what we realized. We didn't realize before. And I believe that there is a strong point for every one of our life, that when it will come to us, we don't know, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, maybe a year after, but there will be a point when God is, will tell you something, this is the time, and now or never. Now or never. And Paul also told in 7:1, that's why Paul told them to purify themselves, to separate from unbelievers. Now, okay, before I go there, let me tell you one thing. Paul also says that we always need to be ready, right? So it is challenge, as I say, like, okay, it is challenging sometimes to just give that, come out of that comfort zone, but it is also important for the coming out of comfort zone. So now what happened is we started thinking, okay, if we give up, then what? And you know what? Our mind was fully with everything that, okay, we have a family, we have a family, we have a family. And what was going on in our mind? Our family, not the family Christ was asking us to go and serve. That again took us some time to go and separate ourselves from that comfort zone and go and concentrate on this other family, or the larger family which He's calling us to do. And I'm glad that finally we could able to realize that, we could able to do that. And in the beginning, when we started planning everything, we felt like, okay, this is all going good, and suddenly bang, everything stops, everything goes wrong, every other partners, every other co-staff and everything, they just said, no, it is not the right time. But it was the human nature, you know. This was a human nature because we were so much trapped into our own comfort life, into our own worldly life. But God told us very clearly, like, no, this is what we want, and we decided to follow that. And this is why we are here, you know. This is why we are here. Now, as I said, like, we are a missionary, so we go and serve people. And serving people means being with them. And that's what Paul also said, like, I don't want you to be separate from them, but I want it to be the character which Christ shows you, to be that character. So they can see the Christ in us, and then we can change that. Change their life, sorry, we can change their life. Here, one more thing I like to say. Last 2 years, when we have been concentrating on this, we realized that how Christ changed people's life. We started going to the peoples whom we trained, whom we invested our time. And we found out there are a lot of good potential leaders, but they are not doing good. Why? Because it was incomplete what we have done earlier, because we just gave them an educational platform, we gave them a training which is purely theological, educational, but we didn't teach them how to relate with the people, how you can make the relationship with people. They were trying to go, and a country like India, you might know that it is not easy. It's still, there is a death threat with the missionaries, with the pastors, certain area, not everywhere, but they are not trained to deliver it. They are not trained to make the relationship with them. So we started again from the beginning, and this time we started with relationship, building relationship with them, teaching them what is about discipleship, making them realize that how Jesus changed his disciple, why it was needed for him, Jesus, to just spend 3 years of his time with his disciples everywhere. And now if you go back to Jesus' life, you will see, like, every time Jesus used to live with his disciple, and so many times Jesus took time for personal discipling with his people. He took Peter, he took others, Simon, and all these people, and spend an individual time, because he knows everyone's strength and weakness as well. And that is what was missing. So we started spending time with individual, and then we saw that how their ministry got changed, how they could able to relate with the people. Because if I just say, brothers and sisters, I really love you, and then I go back and I never turn my face to you, you will say, this is just this is a 10-minute thing. But if I keep on coming to you, if I keep bothering with my messages, how are you, my dear? How can I pray for you or come and visit you? Then it's become relational, and that is what Jesus did. And that is what exactly Paul in this particular chapter trying to say, separate yourself for those who are unbelievers, who don't do this, who don't believe it, who only believe in their own comfort or their own surrounding. So it is a separation of character, not geographically. You don't need to move anywhere, but you need to separate yourself with that character. You need to let go that character. Paul is not asking believers to leave the society. But I don't know about here. I'm going to learn this. But in back India, there are churches, there are denominations. They are very conservative and they don't want it to mingle with others. And they feel like people who wear some jewelries or go to movies or watch TV, they are not holy people. If you wear only white and cover your head, you are fine, you are holy people. See, that is not okay. I'm not against their faith or their belief or their custom, but it's a custom. It's nothing to do with your character. So I need to decide which movie I should watch, which movie is not good for me or not good for my kids, or which music is good, which music is not good. That is me. I need to decide because God gave me wisdom. And when I pray, God will open my eyes and help us. We supposed to have fellowship. Christians supposed to have fellowship because fellowship will help us to spend that time together. Now, last 2 days I have been we had a nice fellowship with Jason, and from yesterday our brother he came, and then came the charm of the group. Before I forget your name.
Robert.
Huh? Robert. I'm very. I know you are Japan. Japan. Okay. Then when Robert came, things changed. Man, he bring all the spirit here to the team, and then and everything got changed. They started laughing. They started dancing, cooking. We need that fellowship. We need him. We need that because that's what happened after Robert came. We became more free. Is he different? No. He has a special character, maybe. Yes. I don't know much about him, but that is what my observation was. So you guys can tell more about it. And if you don't behave like that, you can say, hey, I learned a secret. And we need people like him because we all work in a place where we are surrounded by non-believers, we are surrounded by pagans, we are surrounded by the people who don't know Christ. Even the believers, what they do, many believers like the example which I gave, they first judge us, see us, and then they read the Bible, or then they meditate on the word. That's why they still feel like, okay, if I wear only the white or cover my head, then only. They don't judge, they just see the people. They see like, okay, he's not covering head, he's not a right person for me. He's not right person. He goes to movie, watches television. His kids is not good for my kids. That's we need to change. Because Christianity is all about relationship. It's making relationship. So before I close, I wanted to give you just 10 references for you to just meditate, and later on you can just ponder upon this and just think about it. Is it? Can we get these references? Okay. These are the 10 references which I wanted to give you. First reference, Romans 12:2. It says, "Do not conform from the pattern of the world, but transformed by renewing of your mind." What is this just talking about? It teaches separations in mindset, not physical isolations. John 17:15-18, Jesus said, they are in the world, but not of the world. One example I can give here, like the ship. The ship is meant to be in the water, but ship is safe until the water is outside of the ship not inside of the ship. Once the water goes inside of the ship, it will drown, it will sink. Matthew 5:13-16. You are the salt, you are the light. We are not called to be hidden from the world, but to influence it, so people can see through us. Psalms 1:1-3. Blessed are the one who does not walk in the counsel of the wicked. Ephesians 5:8-11. James 4:4. I love this. Friendship with the world can become enmity with God, and this speaks our spiritual compromisations. Philippians 2:15. Shine among them like star in the sky. Robert. Shining. Bad company corrupts good characters. That is also one thing which we all need to have it. To conclusions, once again I just wanted to remind ourselves here that we are living in a society where all kind of peoples are around, all kind of temptations is around, and everything has a good and bad thing. People says AI has bad influence, but if you know that how we can use AI, AI has good influence too. So everything has good and this bad. It is on us that how it is the people whom we work, they are seeing us, they are judging us, they are scrutinizing us. So our character need to be more prominent, that whenever they see us, they see a difference. And that is what my encouragement, that is what I just wanted to share with you this morning. And the 3 words, just wanted for the encouragement, that let them see the honesty in your work. Always be honest. Let them see the grace in our speech. Don't sometimes it is hard, but we have to do that. We have to expect that. We have to accept that. And let them see Christ in our decisions, in our characters. Everything depends on that. Everything depends on that. Now there are 5 questions. Devendra said. I just wanted to give you the 5 thoughts, 5 questions for the discussions later on, and we can talk about it later on. I don't know how it happens. You form a team, right? You form a group and team, and you can discussion. So these are the 5 things which we can discuss later on. So yeah. So this is what I have this morning for you. I hope it will help you. It changed my life. I hope it's everything. So yeah. So Jacob, over to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Amit. To end our worship service, I request everyone to please rise as we are going to sing our last song. And after that, in request of the service, the close us in prayer.